Eric Scott Esch, commonly referred to as Butterbean, is an American boxer, kickboxer, mixed martial artist and professional wrestler who competes in the heavyweight division. Esch transitioned to professional boxing in 1994 following a successful stint on the Toughman Contest scene and went on to capture the World Athletic Association Heavyweight and IBA Super Heavyweight Championships. Beginning in 2003, he began fighting regularly as a kickboxer and mixed martial artist, most notably in K1 and the Pride Fighting Championships. Butterbean's combined fight record stands at 94 wins, 24 losses, and 9 draws. Early life: Esch was born in Bay City, Michigan and raised in Jasper, Alabama. He had a difficult childhood. His mother died when he was 8 years old, and he was frequently bullied at school for being overweight. While decking floors for manufactured homes at the Southern Energy Homes plant in Addison, Alabama, his colleagues dared him to enter a local Toughman contest. He went on to win the tournament and begin his career in fight sports. Boxing career and becoming king of the four-rounders, Esch began his fighting career on the Toughman Contest scene in Texarkana, Arkansas in the early 1990s and went on to become a 5-time World Toughman heavyweight champion with a record of 56-5 with 36 knockouts. He received the nickname Butterbean when he was forced to go on a diet in order to meet the Toughman 181 kg per 400 pound weight limit. He made his professional boxing debut on October 15, 1994, beating Tim Daniels by decision in Birmingham, Alabama. He soon developed a cult following and became known as King of the Four-Rounders. Speaking of his popularity in a 2008 interview with Boxing Insider, Esch stated, "Esch ran up an impressive string of wins, mostly by knockout, before being stopped in 2 rounds by Mitchell Rose on December 15, 1995. Butterbean took the loss with a shrug of his shoulders and went on the road, barnstorming around the United States and winning 51 consecutive matches, with his best win coming against Peter McNeely. While the majority of his opponents were technically limited club-level fighters early in his career, he did move up the ranks to win the IBA Super Heavyweight Championship on April 12, 1997 with a second-round technical knockout of Ed White at the Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas, Nevada. He made 5 successful title defenses before relinquishing his championship in 2000. Butterbean appeared twice in World Wrestling Federation professional wrestling events, competing in boxing matches both times. On December 7, 1997 at the D-Generation X, In Your House pay-per-view event, he defeated former Golden Gloves champion Mark Miro via disqualification in a worked match. 2 years later, Butterbean defeated Bart Gunn in a legitimate shoot fight at WrestleMania 15 on March 28, 1999, defeating the Brawl for All champion with ease, violently knocking him out in 27 seconds. After his 5-year winning streak was brought to an end with a majority decision defeat by non-script heavyweight Billy Zumbrun in August 2001, he fought his first 10-rounder against 52-year-old former world heavyweight champion Larry Holmes at the Norfolk Scope in Norfolk, Virginia on July 27, 2002. While Holmes won a unanimous decision, Esch was credited with a controversial knockdown in the final round. Holmes fought a fight on points, playing on his reach advantage, wary of Butterbean's knockout punch. This was one of only 3 fights in a 109-fight career that was scheduled for more than 4 rounds. K1. Butterbean ventured into the sport of kickboxing in 2003 when he was recruited by K1 and debuted with a first-round knockout of Yusuke Fujimoto at K1 Beast 2 2003 in Saitama, Japan on June 29, 2003. K1 was then keen to match him up with Ernesto Hoost, but he declined to take the fight on the advice of a friend who warned him of the Dutchman's kickboxing prowess. He instead faced Mike Bernardo in a non-tournament bout at the K1 Survival 2003 Japan Grand Prix final in Yokohama, Japan on September 21, 2003. He was floored twice with low kicks in the first round before being finished with a high kick in the second. In his first mixed martial arts bout, Eric Esch took on Genki Sudo in an openweight affair at K1 Premium 2003 Dynamite in Nagoya, Japan on December 31, 2003. Despite having a 110 kg/242 lb weight advantage over his foe, Butterbean was unable to capitalize as Sudo was unwilling to exchange strikes. The Neo-Samurai took Butterbean to the mat with a low, single-leg takedown at the end of round 1 and attempted a leg lock only to be halted by the bell signaling the end of the round, which had been a stalemate up until then. Early in round 2, the fighters tumbled to the ground after Sudo attempted a flying kick on Esch, and the Japanese grappling ace took full advantage of the American boxer's lack of grappling skill by securing a heel hook submission at the 0:41 mark. Returning to the kickboxing ring at K1B's 2004 in Niigata on March 14, 2004, Butterbean lost a unanimous decision to Hiromi Armada as Armada peppered him with low kicks while Esch did little more than taunt his opponent throughout the match. He was scheduled to fight Bob Sapp soon afterwards, but claims that Sapp's management withdrew their fighter after discovering that Armada had needed hospital treatment after his bout with Esch. Butterbean lost his third consecutive K1 match at K1B's 2004 in Shizuoka on June 26, 2004, losing to 225 cm/7 5" giant Montana Silva by unanimous decision. Competing in the 8-man tournament at the K1 World Grand Prix 2005 in Hawaii in Honolulu on July 29, 2005, Esch put an end to his losing streak when he scored a third-round standing 8-count en route to a unanimous decision victory over 150 kg/330 lb brawler Marcus Royster in the quarterfinals. Despite the win, Butterbean sustained an injury to his left leg during the fight and could not continue, and so Royster was entered back into the tournament in his place. Pride Fighting Championships. Having lost his MMA debut to Genki Sudo, Esch stuck with the sport and regrouped, going 6-0-0-1 in appearances in King of the Cage, Gracie Fight Fest, and Rumble on the Rock, which included a TKO stoppage of Wesley Cabbage Carrera at Rumble on the Rock 8 in Honolulu on January 20, 2006 in a fight which took place under special rules, ground fighting being limited to 15 seconds per instance regardless of the situation. He returned to Japan with the Pride Fighting Championships on August 26, 2006 to compete at Pride Bushido 12 in Nagoya against Ikuhisa Manoa, a catch wrestler known for his willingness to face much larger opponents, to whom he lost via armor submission at 4:25 of round 1. Butterbean was set to fight Mark Hunt at the promotion's first North American show, Pride 32 in Las Vegas on October 21, 2006, but the Nevada State Athletic Commission would not allow the matchup as they argued that Hunt's wins over Wanderlei Silva and Mirko Krokop gave him an unfair mat advantage. Pride had stated that visa issues were preventing Hunt from competing in the bout, but it was later confirmed that Hunt could not compete due to the NSAC's ruling. Pro wrestler Sean O'Haire stepped in as Hunt's replacement and Eric Esch TKO'd him in under 30 seconds. Departing Pride briefly to compete in Cage Rage, Eric Esch submitted to strikes from Rob Broughton in the second round of their contest at Cage Rage 19 in London, England on December 9, 2006. He then rebounded with a 43-second knockout of James Thompson at Cage Rage 20 on February 10, 2007. Butterbean returned to Pride for the promotion's last ever event, Pride 34 in Saitama on April 8, 2007, where he faced Zulazinu in a bout where both men weighed in at 184.6/407 lb. Both fighters came out swinging before Zulazinu scored a takedown. Esch reversed him, landing several hammer shots before finally submitting Zulazinu with a key lock at 2:35 of the opening stanza. Later career. Butterbean's next fight was on July 14, 2007 against reigning Cage Rage World Heavyweight Champion Tengiz Tedarads in a non-title bout at Cage Rage 25, losing via TKO. Global Fighting Championships had scheduled a main event bout between Esch and Ruben Villarreal for their inaugural event, but the event was cancelled when half the scheduled matchups could not take place due to medical issues. He was then set to fight Jimmy Embrez as the main event of XCESS Fighting's debut card, but was a no-show for the weigh-in citing scheduling conflicts. Esch made a brief return to K1 to fight at the K1 World Grand Prix 2008 in Hawaii on August 9, 2008, rematching Wesley Carrera in the quarterfinals and losing via a second-round high kick KO. Esch lost via first-round KO for the EBF title against Mark Potter at the Syndict nightclub in Blackpool, England on September 14, 2008. This fight has not been recorded on boxrec.com or any other site of the same nature, as Potter was not licensed at the time. Butterbean made his independent wrestling debut at the Birmingham Jefferson Civic Center in Birmingham, Alabama on March 28, 2009 at the Imagicon horror movie, sci-fi movie, and comic book convention and was victorious against rapper professional wrestler filmmaker actor Anthony One Man Crusanos via pinfall after smashing him with a vicious 400 lb elbow drop. Butterbean won the Pro Wrestling Syndicate Heavyweight Championship on May 29, 2009 after defeating Trent Acid. Butterbean lost the belt to Kevin Matthews on May 8, 2010 in White Plains, New York. In his final kickboxing match at Musin in Seoul, South Korea on July 29, 2009, Esch KO'd Moon Bilam 46 seconds into round 1. On October 3, 2009 Esch lost a 4-round split decision to Harry Funmaker whom he earlier beat on 2 occasions. After the bout he announced his retirement. He seemingly changed his mind, however, and soon returned to competition. On September 18, 2010, Esch was defeated by Mariusz Pudzianowski by submission due to strikes at KSW 14 in Angstroma Kubda, Poland. After several exchanges of strikes on the feet, Pudzianowski attacked and took Esch down, proceeding to throw numerous punches from side control in a ground-and-pound attack. Esch, unable to get to his feet, submitted at just 1:15 into the first round. Esch next took on up-and-coming super heavyweight Dean West at the LFC 43, Wild Thang MMA Internet pay-per-view on October 12, 2010. After a heated contest, Dean did not rise for the third round. Butterbean humbled Dean West via TKO at 5 o'clock of round 2. On April 1, 2011, Butterbean returned to pro wrestling and teamed with his Walker County Sheriff deputy partner Adam Hatter to take on Brutus the Barber Beefcake and One Man Cry in a tag team match at the Battle Against Drugs charity benefit which was taped for Butterbean's reality show Big Law. He appeared in February 2012 at Wrestlerama in Georgetown, Guyana where on entering the ring he told the crowd Guyana is his second home and was booed off because he mispronounced Guyana. Butterbean defeated Dean Story at Elite One MMA, High Voltage on May 7, 2011 in Moncton, New Brunswick, Canada to claim the promotion's super heavyweight title. He knocked out Story 24 seconds into the second round. Media appearances, Big Law, Deputy Butterbean, Esch is a reserve deputy sheriff in his hometown of Jasper, Alabama and starred in the reality television documentary entitled Big Law, Deputy Butterbean which debuted on the Investigation Discovery Channel in August 2011. They came to me wanting to do a reality documentary on my restaurant and I was in the process of closing my restaurant down, he said. I said if you want something interesting and fun to watch, follow us on our drug busts in the sheriff's department. They agreed people would be interested in this. They started following us, filming it and documenting us actually making the busts. You arrest somebody and say look, if you don't want to go to jail you've got to help us bust a bigger guy. We make a bigger bust from that. The whole goal is to get people on file and lessen the number of criminals on the streets. I think this show is going to prove that people really care about the communities they lived in, said Esch. There's going to be more people calling saying hey, this guy is doing this crime. You should look into it. We want people to step forward and help the police clean up our communities. The show was not renewed for a second season. Film: Butterbean appeared in the film Jackass, the movie, where he fought Johnny Knoxville in a department store. After the fight began, Knoxville fell, got up, was asked by Butterbean to hit him once at least. Knoxville did so, was easily floored by Esch and received several stitches in his head after the encounter. Knoxville stated that Esch is actually quite friendly outside of the ring, despite his fearsome ringside demeanor. Butterbean also appeared in the film Chairman of the Board as the museum security guard with the Kaya hair, a fact that is pointed out on the DVD commentary by the movie's star Scott "Carrot Top" Thompson. Television: Butterbean appeared on Adult Swim's Squidbillies where he sang the national anthem, and ended up beating up a fan for not taking off his hat. Butterbean appeared on CMT's Hulk Hogan's Celebrity Championship Wrestling television show, on Team Beefcake. Butterbean was referenced on NBC's Parenthood. The episode aired on October 5, 2010 and was titled Date Night. In June 2013, Butterbean was interviewed in Australia on Fox Sports program, Monday Nights with Matty Johns. Radio. On July 16, 2005, Butterbean fought Dominic Dieter of Rovers Morning Glory, in downtown Cleveland, Ohio in a bout billed as War on the Shore. Video games. Butterbean was featured on the cover of, and was the final boss character in, the EA Sports game Toughman Contest, released in 1995 for the Sega Genesis and Sega 32X. He also appeared as a playable character in all of the EA Sports boxing video games in the Knockout King series, and was featured in Fight Night Champion. In the 2007 PC game The Witcher, the main character can challenge a tavern fistfighter by the name of Butterbean during the second chapter of the game. Butterbean has a body structure similar to that of Esch. Butterbean is a playable fighter in EA's fifth installment of the Fight Night series Fight Night Champion. Personal life. Eric Esch is married and has 3 children, sons Brandon and Caleb, who are both mixed martial artists, and daughter Grace. Championships and awards. Boxing. International Boxing Association, IBA World Super Heavyweight Championship. World Athletic Association, WAA World Heavyweight Championship. Mixed Martial Arts, Elite 1 MMA, Elite 1 MMA Super Heavyweight Championship. Professional Wrestling, Pro Wrestling Syndicate, Pro Wrestling Syndicate Heavyweight Championship. Boxing Record, Kickboxing Record, Mixed Martial Arts Record. External links, Official K1 Profile, K1 Sport Profile, Official Pride Profile, Professional MMA Record for Eric Esch from Shadog, Professional Boxing Record for Eric Esch from BoxRec, Eric Esch at the Internet Movie Database, References.